Hey, Jason,
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
why should you never brush your teeth with your left hand?
Why?
Because a toothbrush works better. Teeth horror movies on this episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast.
Attention planet Earth and beyond. Stay tuned for Attack of the Killer Podcast. 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 Yay.
Open up and say, it's time for another episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast, the podcast that 4 out of 5 dentists approve. I am your host, Insane Mike, and this episode is 275, and we are going to be talking about teeth horror. Yes, that's right. Movies about teeth, or relative to teeth, in a way, in a sense. Now, I know you're all chomping at the bits, so let's get started. If this is your first time listening to Attack of the Killer Podcast, we usually don't use this much laughing gas. But Attack of the Killer Podcast is a horror movie podcast where a group of friends get together with a topic and discuss films within that topic. Now, we're all just friends hanging out, talking horror movies, so there might be spoilers, just to let you know. If you like our show, I hope you will also help support the show by going to jointheattackers.com. There you can donate to the show and help keep Attack of the Killer Podcast growing and going. When you do donate, you become an attacker. Now, as an attacker, you become part of the Attack of the Killer Podcast family, and you also get all kinds of rewards and perks, such as bonus episodes, videos, invites to exclusive stuff like our Attack of the Killer chat.
Oh, man. What a good time.
I can't keep up with it. You also can get membership card, sticker, and certificate. You can get original art by me called Mikey's Monsters, where I draw you as a monster of my choice. There's so many great things, great content that you can get. So much so I'm not going to go through them all. You just got to go and check it out for yourself. So go to jointheattackers.com and become an attacker today.
What people don't understand is that was you warning them to not expect you in that chat. You literally can't keep up with it.
I can't. Like one day I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to the last time I read. Oh my God.
4,000 messages later.
And then once in a while I'll see something pop up. I'm like, oh, I want to respond to that, but I don't have time. And when I do have the moment, that was like 100 posts ago. So it's irrelevant. So yeah, I'm trying, guys, but yeah, don't get to see me on there too much. All right, so now it is time to introduce you all to the podcast crew. His dentist made fun of him, saying that even though he's much older than him, he has healthier teeth. His reply is that he must have a better dentist. Tad, everybody!
Hey guys, I'm first. I don't think I've ever been first. Thanks for listening.
In college, he had a girlfriend who used too much teeth when she would go down on him. It hurt a lot, but he didn't know how to tell her. Didn't want to hurt her feelings. He didn't know how to soften the blow. Andy, everybody!
Wow. Hi. Thanks for listening.
His dentist is also a part-time lumberjack. During his last visit to the dentist, the dentist got his jobs confused and chopped out all of his teeth. The dentist apologized and said it was all accidental. Jason!
Oh, my Lord. These are kind of bad this time, buddy. I'm sorry. Anyway, thanks, everyone, for listening. Appreciate you being here.
Well, like Thanksgiving was not that long ago. I'm still full of turkey, so my joke's got to be turkeys. Shudder is the best thing in horror streaming. From classic films to Shudder originals, so much great content, and it updates constantly. You get new stuff all the time. I at least check Shudder at least once a day, once every other day, just to see what else is on there. And there's usually always something new. So you need Shudder in your life. Now you can get a month of Shudder for free thanks to us here at Attack of the Killer Podcast. Just enter our promo code AOTKP. Check out Shudder for a month for free on us. Again, that promo code is AOTKP.
Wow.
Ever wonder what we do in our free time? We watch stuff. Here's Tad with what we watched.
Well, now with October behind us, I feel like we're all on a race to watch the new movies for the year-end episode. So, Andy, what have you watched?
Well, I haven't got to watch any new movies actually. But basically, what I have been watching is a lot of shows. Since they have discontinued Dark Side of the Ring, I've been watching Tales of the Territories, which is a roundtable discussion of the regional wrestling companies that were around before Vince McMahon bought them all out and took all the talent. And some of these are pretty sad, and some of them are actually pretty damn funny, particularly the ones about Florida, Portland, and the AWA, which would be the AWA would be the territory that was around us. The Iowa, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, Michigan, and the Minnesotas. Hilarious stories. I mean, they had a plane that would take some of the wrestlers around called Suicide One, and I'll just leave it to that. Been watching a little bit of Sandman, trying to get that finished off with the wife. I watched a documentary called How the Devil Got His Horns, which kind of takes you through the depiction of the devil from the time in the first biblical version, which he did not have horns and cloven hooves and all this other pitchforks and bullshit. Basically, this guy goes to all these chapels overseas, particularly ones in Italy, and examines the mosaics. Basically, how the church took images from pagan gods such as like Bez and Pan, and they took their look, and they took the worst looks of these other pagan gods, and they morphed them into the devil, and commissioned these things to make what they appear to look evil and sinister, when he does not even look anything remotely like that, or even, well, he may not even exist to some people, for that matter. However, it's basically the church making him to be like this. Visually, they needed a very, very scary looking thing to incite fear, which in turn, incites belief. It's like it's basically good storytelling. Your hero's only as good as your villain, in that aspect. Also been watching, and maybe Mike might know what I'm talking about when I mention this, because it's a very old television show, and it was actually in Canada. It's called Forever Night.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever watched it, but I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Night with a K, yeah.
Yeah, and it's about this guy named Nick Knight, and he's a detective, but he's also like this old vampire. It was a Canadian television show. It was hour long programming, so it was on primetime TV. Is it very good? Not really. Why do I keep watching it? No idea. I maybe episodes. Maybe I'm expecting like I'm gonna see advertisements for Molson Ice or Super Nintendo or some shit. But the one saving grace of this show, however, is Nick Knight's partner is John Kopalos, and he's the guy that worked in. He worked a lot with John Hughes back in the 80s. He was Dino in Weird Science. She's into malacas. And he was the guy marrying Molly Ringwald's sister in 16 Candles, and the janitor
Janitor
in
in Breakfast Club.
yeah, and he's actually pretty entertaining in this. But and his last name is his name is Detective Don Skanky. That's his. That I'm seriously. I'm not making that. They call him Skanky. So
I I never. Sorry to completely
no, go ahead.
derail right now, but I never realized. It just dawned on me that that was the same guy in all those John Hughes movies, and
Really? You didn't know
yeah, I
that?
don't know why I never put it together. It's been forever since I've watched some John Hughes, but I did watch a documentary about the Breakfast Club not too long ago. And did you know? It's interesting to think that maybe they never would have worked together if it wasn't for the fact that originally Rick Moranis was hired to play the janitor
Oh
and
wow.
for the Breakfast Club, and Rick Moranis wanted to do it as a Russian character, and everybody was kind of like, eh. So they fired Rick Moranis, and that's when they brought in the other guy. So I don't know. It may have been Rick Moranis in all those roles.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that the get the Criterion collection of Breakfast Club because it has like deleted scenes with this guy, and you know when he says, "I'm the eyes and the ears of this institution."
Yeah.
He kind of elaborates more of this after that, and he basically starts. He just reads these kids the riot act, like when he's there. He's just like, and he predicts. Like all their lives, you know what's coming in the years. He's like Judd Nelson's, you're gonna OD. Molly Ringwald, you're gonna be divorced with like 3 kids, and you'll have a couple of tummy tucks and a facelift. I mean,
Wow.
he just rips these fucking kids apart, and it's hilarious. I was like, God damn, I almost wish that was in the movie. But
There's more background to that character in it as well because apparently one part of the movie you can see like one of those framed like class photo pictures of like this was the valedictorian, this was the class president for that particular year, whatever, and he was the janitor was a student there. You can
oh
see
yeah, I
his
bet.
like senior picture in one of those frames or something like that.
But yeah, anyway, I need to get my ass to work on like actually present day stuff and need to get some more movies watched. But anyway, I'm actually sort of it's a guilty pleasure right now forever night. I don't know why, but
Yes, the award show is coming, Andy.
I know. That's what I watched.
All right, Jason, what about you?
Well, here's the thing, guys. It's not been a whole lot, but I got a few things. So I got me this girlfriend now, so I'm gonna totally watching some things that aren't. So I watched the Transformers.
Pornography.
Transformers the movie. She's never seen any Transformers stuff at all, and so like, yeah, that was a chance
And
to
now
watch
you've
it.
ruined it.
So was that the test? Was that
What?
the girlfriend test?
The girlfriend Justin won't leave me alone about making the one movie
Oh, Greasy Strangler.
Greasy Strangler, the girlfriend test, and I'm like,
Well,
that's not.
that does have to be the girlfriend test, yes.
But
Danielle had to pass Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
oh, that's a
and
good one.
We're still married, so
Yeah, I should have known before I got married that my ex fell asleep during Dawn of the Dead twice.
Oh.
I should have known. But Brandy loves it, so we're all good.
But yeah, so and then it was also for a new episode of Cracktastic Plastic, so I had to kind of watch it, and then she watched it with me, and it was really great. And then last night we watched it.
Wait.
Oh.
Did she cry when Optimus died?
She thought it was sad.
Okay.
She also
Did you watch your brand new VHS copy?
no, I'd watched it before I got that. Like I have a way to play that thing, but no, she hated Grimlock at first.
What?
I know, but then but by the end she's like, all right, he's pretty cute the way he talks and
Okay.
stuff. So, she just thought he was an asshole at first. but-
big Grimlock.
Exactly, right? And then last night we actually watched this other movie that was super fucking awesome, and it's brand new on Netflix. It's called Slumberland.
With Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa, Kyle Chandler,
Momoa.
Chris O'Dowd. It was fucking awesome.
Is it a kids movie? What is it?
Yeah, it's a young girl discovers a secret map to the dream world of Slumberland, and with the help of an eccentric outlaw, she traverses dreams and flees nightmares with the hope that she will be able to see her late father again. Yeah, so it's like a very fairy tale-ish type stuff. It's really yeah. She navigates through dreams with the help of this Jason Momoa, who I think's doing like his best Beetlejuice impression. It's pretty great. Like he's having way too much fun and being a goofball, and it's that kind of character. And but it's also super freaking heartfelt and just don't make that face, Mike. You can watch this with the kid and you just love it. It's so good.
He's about as dead in the heart as I am.
No, we were both on the couch just crying our eyes out at the end. It was so good. It was really good, and it's pretty to yeah. The cinematography is amazing, and
It looks like visually really cool.
Yeah.
I saw him promoting it on some late night shows, and I think my niece wants to watch it. So maybe when she comes over and we have to watch something child appropriate, I'll suggest that.
yeah, completely child appropriate, but plenty of stuff for grown ups too. I mean, it's just great message and great story. Great story.
Who doesn't look like looking at Jason Momoa? I mean,
Exactly.
I'm okay with my sexuality enough to say that
Handsome man.
He's a very beautiful specimen. He's been carved out of some kind of stone. He's yeah.
It's how we grow them here in Iowa.
That's right.
Yep, exactly. Corn-fed boy.
That's right.
And that's what I watched.
Wait,
What?
is that all you've watched?
Was there more? What
Have
I
you
miss?
watched the weird Al Yankovic story yet? God damn it!
No, now it's just turned into torturing you.
It's gonna get brought up
I don't-
every episode.
I
so
actually
who's
don't.
torturing you?
I don't have Roku
I say we
right
just
now,
start
so-
spoiling it for him, and
About gonna.
you gotta watch it though.
Oh,
really.
I absolutely plan on it.
I don't know if it's
Okay.
still this way, but you didn't even really have to have Roku to watch it when it first came out.
But
You have to
I
have a
think you
Roku
did.
channel.
Yeah, you have to have the app.
Did you? Did you though?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wink? Do I? No. But
No, I
just
thought you
normal
didn't have
people?
to at
Normal-
first.
yeah, you did. Everyone had to watch it on the Roku channel or app.
Okay.
I'm planning to. I really do. I just haven't. Aww.
Okay, Mike.
Like
what have
we
you
need a
watched?
third episode to just be 2 hours of the weird.
Maybe I'll have him on first time, and we can just discuss it, so we can both get gush
yeah.
over it for 2 hours.
That would be great.
Yes.
I need a forum to talk about this movie. Besides the horror movie podcast that I'm on.
Okay,
Whoa.
Mike, what have you watched?
This will be a short
That's
one
it,
from-
Jason.
This is a short one for me. I didn't watch Jack. Crap. So
What movie's that?
I didn't watch nothing. Yeah. Sorry.
It
Were
is-
you finished, Jason? I feel like I cut you off.
No, I actually was
He
done. That
said-
was good.
He said he was
That
done.
was good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's into the hell months. November, December. It's tough.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, sadly I watched nothing. So Tad, what did you watch?
Well, I feel like I am the overachiever in the group.
Oh, we saw her.
Friday, I went over to Galesburg, which, if you're not from the area, is about 45 minutes from where I live, where Brian Godsill resides, the Godzilla himself. They have a really cool throwback theater, a lot like the Capitol, very beautiful Art Deco theater called the Orpheum. And keep a long story short, they were showing a movie called The Sender from 1982.
Oh yeah.
It was the last film they played at the Orpheum before they shut down for a long period of time.
wow.
The story goes November 18th, which this was the anniversary of when they closed down. That was to be the final movie shown at the Orpheum before they closed down because they were bought out by the local Cineplex. And not only were they bought out, the local Cineplex had taken basically everything from the theater that they didn't need to run their final film, including some of the letters for the marquee. So when they went to put The Sender up on the marquee, they were out of S's, so they had to put The Zender. And they showed some cool pictures before the film on the big screen and told the story. And basically, they thought this is going to be a huge celebration. This theater's meant a lot to this town. Everyone's going to show up to this. This is like a good first-run movie. 2 people showed up.
Oh,
So the ushers and volunteers and everybody who worked at the theater took, all the huge bags of popcorn they had popped into the theater and sat and watched it with the 2 people who came. And on their way out, one of the ushers climbed up and took some of the letters off of the Zender and just left it as the end on the marquee.
oh,
And lo and behold, the Orpheum came back stronger than ever and outlived the Cineplex, and they're going strong today.
that's awesome.
So, as a celebration, they were showing it on Friday night. I had never heard of this movie. I'm sure one of you have probably seen it.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it, and I can remember the box cover.
Not on my
VHS.
radar.
I had never heard of it. I knew nothing about it until they told the story, but the story was too cool not to, make the short drive to see it. I was pretty impressed. So basically, I think someone had seen, and I'm sure someone's going to correct me, probably Brian Clark. Hi, Brian. That someone who made this film had obviously seen Psycho and had seen or read Firestarter, and they were like, it's a combination of a million movies, but basically this young man with psychic abilities shows up at a mental institution, a little bit Nightmare on Elm Street too. But he shows up at a mental institution and he does not know his name, does not know where he came from. He's John Doe, and but they start learning that he has these psychic abilities and he's using it to get into the thoughts and dreams of the lead doctor at this hospital, who's a beautiful young woman, of course, who is sort of romantically falling for this guy, of course. A completely unnecessary side plot of the story. But but of course it's just like almost like Dream Warriors, where there's like one guy who's in the hospital believes he's still in Vietnam. One believes that he is a god. Like he thinks that, he is basically a god. I forget what they call him, the pariah or something. But so there's like these stereotypical characters in this mental hospital with him. So they sort of provide a little bit of comedy relief. But there's some really cool scenes in this movie. I won't spoil too much, but there's a scene in an operating room where they're going to give him shock treatment, and shit goes bad, really bad for everybody. But it's actually a pretty decent movie for something I never heard of. Apparently, when we got there, like Godzilla pointed out, the guy had the Blu-ray case, and it's an Arrow Blu-ray, so it's enough for Arrow to warrant making something out of it. It was much better than I expected because I didn't have any expectations. I just wanted to have a fun night with this cool story. So if you can find The Sender out there, I'd recommend checking it out. It's cool, even without the background story. It's a cool little movie with some cool twists to it. I didn't spoil too much of it. Outside of that, I watched a new movie called Watcher. Just came out this year. It's a Shudder original, or IFC produced it with Shudder. It's on Shudder, with one of my favorite modern actresses, Maika Monroe from It Follows. Very simple story. Her and her husband moved to a new country for his new job promotion. She does not speak the language. She's sort of like stranger in a strange world. And this guy across the street in an adjacent apartment building is watching her. And very rear window where she starts to wonder if he's following her or if she's just sort of driving herself crazy by assuming things. And it gets deeper and deeper. I recommend it. I won't spoil anything about it. And it might come back up in the year-end episode because this is really good. I watched another one that I think you guys really need to check out if you haven't yet. It's on Shudder, called Glorious. Has anyone else seen this yet?
Nope.
Mike?
No, I haven't yet, no.
Okay, so this is a really wild one. Directed by Rebecca McKendry from
awesome.
formerly from Shockwaves. Colors of the Dark, I believe, is the current podcast that she's on. It has J.K. Simmons as the voice of an ancient god who lives behind the glory hole of a rest stop restroom.
Jesus.
And this man who just went through a very traumatic breakup is finding an epiphany in the glory hole in this rest stop restroom. And it's literally him in this restroom and the voice of J.K. Simmons, and that's the whole movie. And it's
What?
very well done. But it's one single location, one actor, and like I said, J.K. Simmons' voice as this god. Very well done, very cool, very very unique concept. It's wild, it's ambitious. It's clear that they did not have a lot of money to spend, so they did what they could with it. It's really cool. I won't want to spoil anything else, but it's a Shudder original, and check it out before the year end episode because it's fantastic. And then
Yeah, it's going on my list.
yeah, that one's wild.
What was
and
The Watcher on?
It's also on Shudder.
Okay.
Yeah, and the final thing, which is not horror, but I talked Jason's ear off about it this weekend, is a new Netflix documentary called Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
Oh yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, so in the 90s, Pepsi had this commercial for their Pepsi points, and they advertised that there was a harbor jet for like 7 million Pepsi points, and this 20-year-old kid found a loophole that you could buy Pepsi points for 10 cents each, so he could buy this jet for $700,000, and it's like a, $400 or $40,000 or $40 million jet. And obviously Pepsi did not want to give him the jet, so he took them to court. And this 4-part docuseries is hilarious and eye-opening. If you're ever in advertising or marketing or any of this stuff, it's even if not, it's just a very quick watch. They're like half-hour to 40-minute episodes, and there's only 4, so it's like the length of a movie. Yeah, I highly recommend that. Really funny, really insightful. And that's all I've watched.
Sweet. Thanks, Tad. All right, so it is now time for pole position.
From now on, like your parents were, you are the secret force of pole position.
All right, pretty excited for this week's pole position. The question: best bite. Oh yeah, I know you're excited, right, Mike? You're
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, it's bite 'em.
Way better. Just like normal, we'll do 2 rounds, snake draft style. Let's go to the random sequence generator. That's right. Mike's 1, I'm 2, Tad's 3, Andy's 4. Here we go. Noise again. Sorry. Oh, really? Okay, we got Andy's first. Oh, and then Jason. I like that. And then Tad. Yep. And then Insane Mike. All right, Andy, you're up first. What, in your opinion, is the best bite?
Well, if it wasn't for this bite, Ash would not have a chainsaw on his arm. So I'm going to go with Linda biting Ash's hand in Evil Dead Part 2.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's really good.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Ash, Evil Dead 2. Gosh dang, I'm trying to write fast, sorry. Okay, that's me. I'm next. That was a good one, Andy. Wasn't even on my list. Dang it. Well, yeah, I started a nice list, and by the time I got to the end, I'm like, all right, I finally got some good ones, and I'm really excited about this one. It's a pretty amazing scene where there's a bunch of dudes, and they're in Antarctica, and they're going to try to do CPR on this dude.
Oh man.
Fuck yes, the thing.
Oh no!
Isn't
How
that a
did I
great
not-
bite?
That is. I am just.
You're voting
I'm
for
throwing
me.
in my towel right now. I urge everybody to vote for that one.
Yeah, man, I was so
Dang it,
excited.
Good job.
Thanks. All right, Tad, follow that. What do you got, buddy?
That's hard. This is a tough one for me. No secret. I just told the guys right when we were hitting record. Oh yeah, I need to look this up. But there's no looking this one up. You just have to go from memory, and it's always tough for me to remember like a bite. Obviously, like every vampire movie and zombie movie has them.
Yep.
So I'm trying to remember like very super memorable ones, and one that stuck out in my brain. And I'm not the one I really want to take is one I think is near and dear to Mikey. So I'm gonna let him have dibs at it. But this one, is a classic. It's when a zombie bites a shark in Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
Nice. Nice.
What other zombie versus
I knew you were doing the zombie
shark? I mean, come on, like it's such a weird thing. Why does this scene exist in a movie? So I'm going with that as my first one.
Very nice, Mike. You're up next.
Well, yeah, I
Pick
think
4.
Tad knows where I was gonna go, but the thing is how do you narrow it down to one? And I don't know if this was maybe the obvious answer or not. Probably not, because I'm thinking in my brain there was other ones that are probably more obvious. For those who know me, but I'm going with the zombie that bites his girlfriend in the arm in the low-income housing tenement in Dawn of the Dead.
The love bite. The one
Yeah.
on the shoulder or arm?
Takes a chunk out of her shoulder.
I thought it was.
It's kind of can I count it as both?
yes.
Yeah,
It's one
like-
scene.
Yeah. Oh,
I just remember.
man.
I still remember the first time ever watching that movie, and when that happened,
Well,
it's just
That was on my list.
just the
Yeah,
the stretch and the rip of that. It was
Oh,
just
God.
awesome.
and I just got to see it on the big screen in 3D.
Oh, lucky.
Very nice. Of course, he's picking that one. Very sweet of you, Tad, to let him have it. But
Thank you.
Of course.
you're up. Pick 5 again, Mike, on the turn.
Okay, so I'm pretty excited that I didn't have a huge list, so I was really excited that no one had any of mine. So now I got to choose. Wow. I think I'm going to go for. Okay, I'll go with this one. In the Beyond, where the dog attacks and rips out the throat in
Yeah.
the Beyond.
Good one. I totally had forgotten that one. Damn it. That's good. Tad, you're back up. Pick 6.
He like gave me a little heart palpitation there because I have one on my list from the same movie, but it's not that scene.
Oh.
But I don't think I'm going to go with that one.
Probably a good call.
Yeah, because it's the same movie and it's hard to beat. The throat bite is just gnarly.
It's going to be the spider bites. Is what
That's
he
what
was
I was
right?
wondering. I'm sitting here smiling because I'm like, if it's
Slow.
the spider bites, it's awesome.
Yep, that's on my list. That's not gonna
Biting
that's not
the
gonna
tongue.
Yeah, that's not gonna be my pick because I still think the dog one is cooler. I'm gonna go with one that is more exciting from the sound of it. I've always loved this scene in The Lost Boys when he bites into the bald guy's head and it sounds like an apple.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When they attack the people in the car and he bites, or they're around the campfire, they're up in the trees and he swoops down and takes a bite out of his head. We don't even see it, but the sound, it sounds like he's biting. And I'm pretty sure the sound Foley guy must have just bit into an apple for the sound. It sounds like, a red delicious apple. And so that one has always stuck out to me just from the sound. Like I can't think of another bite scene where the sound is just like that. So
That's true.
That's a good one.
All right, I'm up next. And oh my gosh, I have so many good ones left. I can't even decide. This sucks. Oh my gosh. Do I get. Oh man. All right. I think, Mike, you'll have to help me on this. I think
Okay.
the proper which one. But I'm pretty excited to have the first penis chomp on the list here. I'm going with Piranha 3D.
Oh,
Is that
yes.
the-
Yep. Mm-hmm. Jerry
O'Connell.
O'Connell, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's pretty.
That's
That's a pretty
one,
good
too.
scene. All right.
That's a really good one.
All right, Andy, you're back up. Finish it off.
Well, I think I might be able to prove Tad wrong on this one because this one does have. I don't know if it sounds like an apple crunch, but it's definitely a crunch. But I have to say, brains when
Yeah.
Tarman bites into Suicide's top of his
Yep.
head.
That's on my
Nice.
list. Yep.
Yeah, I went with when Scud gets his brain bit instead of suicides, but yeah, both good.
Very good list, guys.
Yeah.
What extras did you have on there?
Well,
obviously
Yeah.
the spider bites,
yeah.
and demons,
Demons, the fingers.
the fingers, and also Reanimator, the fingers.
Yeah,
Yep.
I had that.
And-
I wanted to say this, but I don't think our audience would vote for it. But it's one of my favorites. But the kid biting off his mom's boob in Burial Ground.
You should have had that one.
That's a great one. Oh,
You overestimate our audience.
I know.
Well,
You should have went with that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, well. But yeah, he just chomps off her boob at the end of the movie. So.
I had a couple more fingers ones. There's the obvious teeth in the doctor
Yeah.
office, and then Shape of Water's got a pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Michael Shannon.
Yep, pretty badass. I have a couple more penis chomps. There's Chillerama.
Of course you do.
Yeah, that's Chillerama.
And Black Sheep has
Yep.
a pretty good one too. And then I thought Jaws would have had something, at least
Oh yeah.
for what's his old guy.
Oh yeah, when Quinn gets. Oh, that's yes. Oh, I read. See, I struggled with this one, and I don't know if it was just because it was technically so last minute for me
Wasn't
anyway
there,
that I haven't.
Wasn't
had
there
time
like
to
a
really-
repairman in Craw that gets bit by the alligator?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking that those scenes in From Dusk Till Dawn, the vampire scenes are always brutal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like when he's biting the kid and he's like shaking. He's like
Yeah.
clamps down on the kid and he's sort of like I don't even know how to. He's convulsing. That's the word I'm looking for.
See, and I was trying to represent like all horror antagonists that bite, so I wanted to have a little bit of zombie, a little bit of werewolf, a little bit of vampire, and I struggled with the vampire one. I couldn't really. I was blanking on like real
30 Days
good-
a Night. There's a scene where like they all gang up,
See, yeah,
like
and I thought of
hunters.
that, but it'd been so long since I've seen it, I couldn't really remember it.
and it's
I
not
didn't
really
wanna-
iconic for its bite. It's more of just an
Yeah.
attack scene where it's like a
true.
specific one bite. That's what the thing about a lot of vampire ones. It's just not. I don't know. It's not like one-on-one like it is with the fingers being bitten off for some reason. It's so visceral to people.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
our
yeah.
digits are precious to us for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one I had on my list, I wasn't sure if it was going to count or not. I was going to let it be up to you guys, but an alien chest burster. Is he biting his way out? I don't know.
Nah, I don't count that.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I only had a couple other ones.
I mean, the thing wins. Sorry.
Yeah. You had it with the thing, so. But I had Jack getting attacked at the beginning of American Werewolf in London,
Oh yeah.
and then I almost thought about going with this one, but Andy had Evil Dead 2, so I wanted to go with a different movie. So I had chewing through a demon's own wrist in the original Evil Dead.
Ah.
I always thought that was
What about
so disturbing and gross.
poor Dee Wallace getting bit by that werewolf at the end of The Howling, right through the sunroof?
Oh yeah.
Lots of good ones. All right, everybody, get your butts over to Twitter at AOTKP. Let us know who
Get
you
your
think.
teeth over there.
That's right, and let us know who picked the best bites.
Here's
That
Jason.
that is pole position.
All right, so it's time to talk about teeth movies. Movies related to teeth in some way or another. So, Andy, what's our first film?
Our first film comes to us from 1996, and it is called The Dentist.
Hi there. Is this your first trip to the dentist? You a little scared? No? Good. Give me 5.
Dr. Alan Finestone's a renowned dentist who's got it all.
The anniversary.
A beautiful wife, a thriving practice, and an impeccable reputation.
I know I'm early.
Couldn't wait, huh?
No more braces, thank God. Built up quite a practice, doctor.
Kay is always busy, so we're always busy.
But behind the success is a man who's feeling the pressure.
The IRS? You got real tax problems. When I tell you to do something, you do it.
We're short-staffed as it is.
Do you dress like that in front of the pool, man?
Would you like to make another appointment?
I had an appointment. You're not wearing anything.
Now, Dr. Finestone's gone over the edge.
This is my wife! Please, please. Tonight you pay for all that you've done to me.
Maybe we should close up until things are under control.
Things are under control. Everything is under control.
What we've got here is a seriously derailed train, a man over the edge.
Open wide.
dentist.
There now. Better?
Dr. Finestone has everything, a beautiful wife and a successful career in dentistry. But when he discovers his wife in an affair, he realizes that behind every clean white surface lies the stench of decay. Having gone insane, he enacts cruel dental torture on his patients. This is a first time watch for me, which really kind of surprises me because back in the mid to early 90s, basically low budget horror that was still good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you could like see a lot of it on HBO and Skinemax and all this other stuff. That was like my bread and butter, man. This was like my comfort food. I loved these kind of movies, because this is probably what started my love for Stuart Gordon and Brian Usna, and films like Castle Freak or Stepfather, and all these sort of lower budget but still kind of technically good horror movies, at least in my estimation. Um, this one delivers just as good. I mean, it took me back to when I was like 16, 15 years old. Absolutely love this. Only saw bits and pieces of it back then, and I don't know why I slept on it. And thankfully, I got to watch it now. Um, Corbin Burnson, you've got Stuart Gordon as a writer. You've got Brian Usna as the director. You have a very, very big deep dive movie for Mark Ruffalo in this early in his career, which I thought was very cool. You also have Kin Faree, which I'm sure pleases Mike.
Yeah.
But I really really like this. Like of course Corbin Burnson, he's got his wife is cheating on him, and he already has the IRS breathing down his neck. He has Earl Bowen, who you may recognize him as the asshole doctor for Sarah Connor in Terminator 2. He always plays some sort of sleazy little fucking authority figure, that he could kick his ass, but he's still in control. Um, the effects in this movie are what really sells it for me. The close-ups of the teeth just getting gnarled up by drills, piercing the tongues. I mean, really, really gnarly stuff. I mean, what's so more amazing to me about this is that this movie called The Dentist was made in 1996. People have been fucking terrified of The Dentist ever since its conception, and it took till 1996 to do this. Um, I mean, other than maybe The Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman, would be the only other case where this subject was kind of tackled. Um, this movie has great blood splatter when he's slashing the pool man with a knife that's been boning his wife. What he does to his wife is just horrible. That, and he's like keeping her alive with baby food after he cut out her tongue.
Yeah.
Ugh, good God. I'm trying to think what he does to what he does to everybody in this is just
So
awful.
the IRS guy, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Just like I said, the close-ups of him going to work. I mean, obviously, as you watch the movie, you find out that he's probably, even before everything starts to unravel in his personal life with his wife and the IRS, you can see that he's been on medication for a while. You can see that he wasn't mentally stable to begin with, and this fucking prick shoots a dog. So he's marking all X's on the piece of shit, checklist here. I don't know what else I was gonna say, but I really like this one. Just him going completely unhinged. It's like the dental version of Dr. Giggles, I I'm game to do the sequel. It's probably not as good, but yeah, I mean, we'll see if he's got like opera themed rooms in his second practice. What did you guys think?
Well, this was a first time watch for me as well somehow. I distinctly remember the cover. I remember, seeing the VHS on the shelf as a kid, because 96 I would have been 10. I mean, this is honestly, for me, as far as horror goes, the absolute like worst like time period for horror if for my taste. It's like not quite. I don't know. It still feels a bit like the '80s, even though we're in '96. It's crazy to think this came out like after Scream because it still feels sort of '80s. But because what was when Scream was '98, wasn't it? Never mind. So
Scream was 96.
was it?
Yeah, I think.
So about the same time, but just I don't know, man. Like it was brutal and gross, and it's very much what I expected of a Brian Usna, Stuart Gordon, horror movie. Maybe I was from the poster art when I was younger. I just assumed it was like a slasher that was out killing people when it just turns out it's a mentally unstable dentist. It's very much like The Stepfather or sort of some of those type things. But I didn't hate it as much as I figured I would when it got listed. I was like, this is going to be the one I don't like because it's 96 and it's sort of from that generation, and I don't know. I sort of put it in a category in my head that it's going to suck, and it didn't suck that bad. It was at least entertaining for the 90 minutes it was on screen.
I mean, it's difficult to find like really choice good horror in the 90s. I agree with Tad, but I enjoyed this movie too.
I wish I could say that. This movie, gosh dang it, I don't even know how to. It's somebody's favorite. I'll be nice. I just, it was just, I don't know how to be nice. I just didn't like it.
I could not be nice first if you want.
Hey, yeah, you do it.
I didn't like it. This was not a first time watch. I remember watching it back in the 90s, and I have memories of liking it better than I did this time. It's probably the first time I've watched it since that last time, and I don't know. I generally am a fan of Brian Usna.
Yeah.
Even his stuff, even the stuff he's directed, Society, that's great, This just felt kind of flat, and obviously I don't care about anybody that's in this because it only really follows, Corbin Burnson, the bad guy of the film, and he's a piece of his wife is cheating on him, sure, but he's kind of a piece of crap out of the gate regardless. And his wife cheating on him is the moment that causes him to go crazy and kill everybody. Up to that point, he was, his dentistry practice was business as usual, normal stuff. I don't know. It felt kind of weak in that regard. All the mayhem and torture and killing and stuff was awesome. That's very visceral stuff. But I like to think of Brian Usna as a little bit more visually stimulating than this. This was just really bland, and I had memories of it of feeling a little bit more visually experimental, and it wasn't. Other than just some like post editing effects is when it kind of got a little more in the unique side of the visuals. But in my opinion, by then it's too late. Like everything is just like, just perfectly lit, very flat, very blah, very drab, and yeah, it just didn't do anything for me.
I just didn't like his just going crazy thing. It was just like, it was.
Do you even
generic.
did you even fully get it? I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, because
really,
the
that
camera
mom-
would do
or
this,
the
and
mom,
you
the
knew he
wife.
was delusional. And
But I don't know. It felt really weak in the execution of like the wife cheating on him is what causes him to go crazy. I don't know. Or was it there the whole time? I don't know.
The thing that I can give it props for, though, is that they knew that close-ups of teeth and things touching teeth would make audience members squirm.
Yeah.
And they exploited the shit out of it. And, you know, I can give them props for that all day. And it didn't even look that bad, even, what I could look at, because I was too scared to look at it.
What do you mean it didn't look that bad? Like, are you telling me one of the easiest topics to make your audience squirm and they're going to exploit it for all it's worth and it still wasn't even that effective?
Well, I mean, it looked like the inside of a mouth, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm squinting and looking through my fingers. It's so gross to me, but so like, I'm just saying, I thought it looked fine, and it was good that what they were doing.
I just think it's such an easy topic, right? We all have that kind of phobia
Cringe.
or that fear, you know,
Right.
and just everybody has those nightmares of their teeth falling out, that kind of nonsense. And it's a very disturbing thought, and should have been a cakewalk, you know, and I just don't think it was executed as well as it could have been. It's like when I saw the movie Bats. Being a guy who's scared of bats and the movie did nothing to me. It's kind of the same principle.
Oh no, the execution wasn't really good at all. The directing and the writing and it just was so jumpy and sketchy, and it didn't follow any logic whatsoever, and it just went from scene to scene, and you're like, what is the deal? It was hard. It was really hard to stick with it.
Yeah.
Those guys loved it. It's their favorite movie. And I feel like an asshole.
I think my bar and expectations were so low that like I mean, like I said, this is like my least favorite. I would rather watch the 96. I'm like, ugh, like give like 5 years earlier, like 6 years earlier or 6 years later, I'm game. But 96, it just looks cheap. It looks like it was, shot for TV. It seems like something you would find on Showtime in the middle of the night. It just, and the like Jason mentioned, like the weird camera angles that are like diagonal, like
stretchy. And
it was a pretty low budget from what I've read.
Flat.
It was all post.
Did
that's
this
the
go
thing, like,
straight to video, I assume?
I think
I
it
think
did.
it did, if I remember
I
right.
sure as fuck hope so.
But that's the thing, like, we can all say, it was low budget, but like we've all seen amazing people do amazing things visually with low budgets,
Right.
So I don't know. Tad, do you have any trivia for The Dentist?
I do. Stuart Gordon was actually set to direct before Brian Usna took over. I'm not sure why, but it was shot in only 18 days, which is 17 more than I expected. And Alan Howarth composed the entire score in one weekend.
Oh God, that's right.
was
I saw
Alan.
that.
Mimicking John Carpenter, in Halloween, but he also did the final mixing and Foley on this movie. No surprise. So, listening to that trailer, I'm like, they put like kids' music in the trailer to give you like a red herring. Like this is a family movie. Then the dentist has gone off his rocker. Ugh.
Yeah, Jason, you remember that horror hound that we were at and we saw his show?
Yeah.
I remember he was playing music from The Dentist in that show.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
He just played all the other good stuff, so I don't remember.
Well, I was dumbfounded.
I still have video from that,
because like
too,
it
though.
was all. Oh, do you?
I think so.
Oh, nice. Because it was all Carpenter associated stuff that he's playing, right? And then all of a sudden on the screen is The Dentist. I'm like, what? So that always stood out to me when we saw that show.
Yeah. Nice dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, great. He has a great resume.
Absolutely.
Don't let the dentist, take away from that.
All right, Jason. What's our next movie?
Oh, man. Our next movie. It's the one that everyone thinks of. when they think of this genre, because it's a genre. It's from 2007. Teeth.
All right. What can I do for you, miss? Is this your first time? Okay. So I imagine you have no idea what to expect.
Not really.
Don't worry. I'm not going to bite you. Just lie down. Put your feet right in here. Okay. Are you sexually active?
No, I just want to be checked out.
Okay, then.
I think there might be something weird going on inside.
What have you put in here?
There is something inside of me that's lethal. Dentata.
What?
It's Latin for teeth. It's what's inside me. Are you afraid?
This is too weird.
Just wait.
Dawn is an active member of her high school chastity club, just like Mike was. But when she meets Toby, nature takes its course, and the pair answer the call. Ooh, yeah. They suddenly learn she is a living example of the vagina dentata myth, when the encounter takes a grisly turn. Directed by Mitchell Lichtenstein. Budget $2 million. Weinstein Company. Roadside Attraction. So, this is my first time watching this film.
It was a Weinstein. That's
2000. So my feelings about this movie, I'm going to go ahead and blame myself.
Okay.
Because I did not watch this movie until yesterday. Day before yesterday, this week. And I let 15 years of it building up in my head, and there was no chance it was going to live up to it.
Oh.
So I stayed away from this movie because the concept is awesome. I mean, it's not. It's the worst idea ever in the history of human ideas, but...
An awesome idea for a horror movie.
For a horror movie, yes.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, the concept just was so fucking scary. And like people freaked out. I just remember people freaking out when this movie came out. They're like, oh, this movie teeth. Oh, and then they explained the concept and it's like, oh yeah. So, but it had kind of the human centipede effect. It's just good on paper.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And so I was in the movie and it's fine, okay, but then like halfway through I'm like, is this a comedy? What is happening to this movie? Is it falling apart before my eyes? Like, what, Mike? What is happening?
I think that's part of the problem. That the movie didn't even know what it was.
It had
what
no
it wanted
idea.
to be.
The tone was all over the place.
All over.
And very jarring and not.
Yeah, and you can have a movie that's tones all over the place if it's handled well, but my goodness, what a train wreck of...
Because when it thinks it wants to be straight, serious horror, it's not scary, it's not horrific, it's it's a little on the disturbing side because of the subject matter. And then when it wants to be funny, it's not funny, it's poorly executed. Like, I didn't like it then, when I first watched it, and I don't like it now for thousands of reasons. We should have just done one movie of this podcast because I could go on a whole episode just why I don't like this movie. But I will say, I remember seeing it for the first time because I was excited about the trailer.
Yeah,
it's like the gynecologist getting devoured by. it just seemed hilarious to me, and it felt like the whole movie was based around that scene anyway. It's like, again, you human centipede connection. It's like, oh, I have this one idea, and I'm gonna put a whole movie around it and not develop any of the rest because this one idea is that solid. Well, guess what? It's not. It's not solid at all, because what could have been freaking hilarious or
The scariest
utterly
fucking-
disturbing
Yeah.
was neither. Like it's trying to be goofy with her flopping around with his hand up there and whatnot.
So weird.
And it's
It was as
not
awkward as
funny.
the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe this movie. Awkward. Yeah.
And then mix in a little incest weirdness. Like, what is that? What is that storyline?
How can I just want to
that
know
dude?
in this universe, how can she make it to, what was she, like 16,
We'll say,
17?
yeah.
How did she make it that far and be a virgin when everybody in this movie just wants to rape her? Like everybody. Like at one point I was scared that the stepfather was going to get in on it. Like the stepbrother, the gynecologist, he takes his glove off, which is like, that's the trope in a movie where the nasty doctor is, taking his, getting some thrills in his job, Everybody, the nerdy guy that you're rooting for, the ducky of the movie, right? He turns out to be a dirtbag too.
Not a lot of people to root for.
That's just the thing. There's no redeemable characters in this movie.
The mom storyline, what's that? How bad of an actor is that dad? Pretty bad. Like, it's just a train wreck of all these things.
Did we even get any explanation or reasoning to why Mother was found on the floor almost dead?
They didn't really
sick.
flesh. Well,
What's
she was
that?
sick, but they didn't really flesh the character out very well, in my opinion. I mean,
Sorry, we shouldn't have went first. What do you guys think? You guys love this movie. You should have went first. What do you guys think?
This is not a first time watch. I saw this when it first came out, and I used to own the DVD. And I will admit, like when I first saw it, I loved it for its shock factor.
Sure.
So I would frequently let people borrow the DVD to the point where someone did not return it, and it's been a sort of controversial thing in my friend group because I know who borrowed it, and they claim someone else borrowed it, and they claim after I let this person borrow it, they let someone else borrow it, and they didn't return it. I said, well, you borrowed it from me, so you owe me that movie. And it's like, well, no, I gave it to this person. They were to return it to you. But anyways, outside of that, rewatching it for the first time in, 10 years or more, the tone is just really, really weird. Nikki watched it with me, and she had never seen it somehow. I thought for sure she had seen it. I like, that it sort of has the, female empowerment thing where she learns to turn this horrifying thing into a weapon against everybody. But it's like, it's sort of like what you said earlier, where it's like, I think it was Mike that just said it, like, she made it this far, and now everybody's trying to jump her bones when she discovers this thing. It's like conveniently, she discovered this about herself and how to control it when she needs to. And now everybody is lining up for their piece, and it's like you said, the incest thing is really uncomfortable. The movie in general, a lot of it's very uncomfortable, but it's not nearly as fun as I remember it because it's like it's a very serious subject and the incest thing and the family thing, but it's just the tone is just very confusing, very, very confusing what it wants to do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the dad is such a freaking pushover. I mean, then who in their right mind, why your wife is struggling with this, this illness. I mean, she's almost pretty much on hospice. And then you've got this punk ass kid of yours blaring death metal and banging his girlfriend, 2 doors down the hall.
Who's 10 years out of date, like the sideburns and the music and the tattoos, like when is this supposed to take place? Sorry, but it's just He's from a different time. Like he's a time traveler. Where's he from?
Yeah, it's just. I mean, the family. I know a lot of families are different, but I mean, like, who actually allows that shit? Um, but and just I don't think. And speaking of the family dynamic, I mean, just like I think you can't have like Mother Teresa and then like Aleister Crowley, two doors down. It was just like I just don't think that would ever work in any way, shape or form. Because she's just like this symbol of purity, and then you've just got the slimiest shitbag turd two doors down. I don't care if it is her brother or her half brother or whatever. I mean, it does have good stuff in it. I mean, you do like to see rapists get their dicks ripped off. But I guess I understand what they were trying to do, but I just think, like you guys said, it's like their execution could have been better.
I even think like I agree. You see a rape in a movie and you want to see that rapist get the worst of the worst, and I don't even feel like that was executed well. I really didn't feel like everybody. I don't know. It just felt anticlimactic as far as the revenge part of all these scenarios that she's in.
But hey, we did get to see a lot of penis chomping, dicks falling on the floor, bloody stumps.
I think my favorite
ate by dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my favorite. That was my favorite scene in the whole movie when the dog ate the penis, and then spit the tip back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I actually laughed out loud at.
It's. I mean, I can say I've seen it. I mean, I've seen worse movies.
Yep.
But yeah, it was my first time watch. By the way, I mean, Danielle had it in her library for quite a while, and I was just like, I wasn't, ever opposed to ever watching it. It just never got around to it. But now, I've seen it now, and meh.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
do you think that living next to the nuclear power plant is what caused her to grow teeth?
I wonder. I was like, because of that brother, just the way he looks as a human, I'm just like, don't you wish Lloyd just had this? Like, just if they went that way, it'd just have been better.
Oh, like
if it was
this
a
was a trauma
with the nuclear.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it would be.
Just
like they would lean way into the other side, which I think it needed. Like it needed to go one way or the other.
Yep.
Yeah, and if I saw one more goddamn shot of those nuclear smokestacks or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dentata.
Yeah.
I gotta say this, but the line of the movie that I think is just hilarious is when that guy's fingers are on the floor and he's screaming "Vagina, dentata, vagina, dentata," just over and over again.
Like,
I thought that was hilarious.
He's almost like excited that
it's
he
real?
discovers that it's real,
Yeah.
but can't believe it. And then when he's in surgery later, and he won't tell what happened.
He starts grabbing for the gas mask.
And the doctor's surgeon's like, there's something weird going on.
It kind of reminded me when that guy came out of Captain Spaulding's murder ride when he's going, Dr. Satan!
Yeah, Chris Hardwick, yeah.
Yeah. I think I might start doing that now, just randomly.
You should do that after I introduce you every episode.
Yeah.
That should be your hello. Tad, what trivia do you got for this one?
All right, this is some fun stuff. Well, first, one of them was sort of just taken by you, but the very heavy use of nuclear plants being in the background of most shots seems to imply that the deformity was caused by nuclear radiation. But this one is really, this one's very interesting. The piercing on the prop used for Brad's detached penis was custom made for the film out of sugar by a local bakery so that it would be safe if the dog swallowed it.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, the piercing itself, the jewelry.
thoughtful of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it was
interesting.
made out of sugar by a local bakery. So in case the dog decided that it was good, he was going to eat it. It wouldn't hurt the dog. So
Cool. Good.
yeah,
Animal safe penis rings.
yeah. The more you know.
They sell those in pet stores now. Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So, all right, Tad, what's our next movie?
Our next movie is from this year, 2022, and it is Smile.
What is it you like to talk about?
My patient. Hi. I know you're nervous. I just want to have a chat.
I'm seeing something no one else can see except for me. It's smiling at me. Oh my God!
Yesterday, a patient in your care died brutally in front of you.
I need to find an explanation for what happened.
It's smiling at me. It's smiling at me.
You're going to die! You're going to die! You're going to die! You're going to
I found 20 cases involving 19 victims with a direct line linking them all together.
You said only 19. Why is it that everybody else who's seen it is dead and you're alive? I've seen it too.
You?
Get away from me!
How long between each victim's death?
None of them survived longer than a week.
Today's my 4th day. I am not gonna keep running. I have to face it.
How does it make you feel?
I'm just really scared that something bad is going to happen.
Man, that trailer gives a lot away just listening to it. But after witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving a patient, Dr. Rose Cotter starts experiencing frightening occurrences that she just can't explain. As an overwhelming terror begins taking over her life, Rose must confront her troubling past in order to survive and escape her horrifying new reality. So this is a new Paramount Pictures film that just came out a few months ago. Maybe not even then. It feels like it might have come out in October, maybe. So end of September 30th, 2022. And just hit streaming on Paramount Plus as we're recording this. It's right around Thanksgiving. So this is directed by Parker Finn, written by Parker Finn. First time filmmaker. Very considerably low budget, and it's made $104.6 million so far. It's a juggernaut for Paramount, so much that they have created their own horror subdivision, which I'm sure, anytime. Well, I'm happy, but also like, I see them seeing the money, the dollar signs in their eyes and saying like, oh, we need to create, a Smile franchise. We need, just like The Conjuring or something. I'm like, no, we don't. But I don't know. I'm sort of mixed on this movie. I'm trying not to fall victim to the thing I talk about almost every week where everyone sees something and they hype it up. Then I go in with high expectations, or the viewer who's had it hyped up, and then they're let down. So I tried to curb my expectations, and I still didn't love this one, and I wanted to. It felt like it borrowed from like 20 different movies, and I've seen it before. And some of the like the scare that we just heard in that trailer where that she taps on the window and she's got like the bendy neck.
Holy fuck!
It was so bad to me. It was so
What?
cheesy.
I pissed my fucking pants.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ, it scared the fuck out of me.
I thought the score was really weird on this, but I like the slow descent into madness of the character. It has a lot of tropes and stereotypical stuff, like she's the smartest person in the room and the mentally stable one, and she's supposed to be the one with the best life and everything together, and now everyone thinks she's going crazy. And how did the cop miss that everything had this connection? Oh, every single victim for 20 straight victims witnessed someone kill themselves and just now noticed it. What the fuck?
All right.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, my favorite scene was when the kid opens the Christmas or the birthday gift and it's a dead cat. That was so fucking funny. I saw it from a mile away, but
I kind of knew it
Dead
was
animals
gonna,
your least favorite thing in the.
But when it's done like this, it's like the kid pulls a dead. I mean, he pulls it out and holds it up. He didn't throw the box down. He holds it up for the entire family to see. Look what I got. Like
yeah.
Oh, the kid was great. Yeah.
So and I mean, it's. I was like, I hope it doesn't just like feel like a bad version of like It Follows or The Ring, and it felt like all of those things combined. But I the production was really well done for it's very slick and for not being made for a whole lot and making a ton. I'm happy for original horror to get some love, and I thought the performances were really good. Like I think it's the writing I didn't love, but. Overall, I mean, it's well made. I can't argue that. It's slick. It's a perfect mainstream horror. It did its job.
Did it?
This is a second time watch for me because I saw this in the theater after I watched Halloween Ends, and I still like it. Still really, just like the performances. Love seeing Cal Penn in this. Just I think the thing that really sells this for me that I really like they did a great job of hiding suspending your disbelief as to what reality is and what isn't. Like when she calls the security people or whatever, and she says, "Are you house alone?" She's like, "Yeah," blah blah blah. He's like, "Are you sure?" And like the operator says, "Turn around." It's like there's no way you could. There's no way that it's just like that.
She
It
took
creates
like 5 minutes
this,
to turn around. It was so scary.
yeah, it takes it. It creates that suspense, and when when she thinks she's talking to her psychiatrist and her psychiatrist smiles at her, God damn it, and she's just doing this slow pursue over the couch, it's just like, you're gonna die, and she's got that fucking drool coming out of her mouth like she's some kind of wild animal or something. Like, holy shit. Yeah, I really think, and some of the kills in this are really good. I mean, when the first girl takes that jagged piece of that vase and she's just smiling the whole time, she's just dragging that bastard across her throat. God, like the guy with like the I mean, it was on camera, but I mean, he goes full, Friday the 13th New Beginning with them fucking garden shears into his chest, and you could just see the blood spray all over that SUV or whatever. I understand what Tad is saying, and to a degree, I agree with him now that he mentions it, because I thought Tad would really like this, because it had a very similar tone to It Follows, and I know he's a really big fan of that, but whatever. Yeah, I dig this movie. I mean, I really liked it. I mean, fucking Cal Penn ripping his face off. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Just there's there's a lot of good stuff in this. But yeah, I don't I agree with Tad. Just I think let one thing be good and just keep producing good content with different themes. I don't think we need a Smile franchise. I don't think we need it. Just let it be and just
It made money. We're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I
That's just a
know, but
fact.
damn
Yeah,
it.
it's
I
it's
mean, it's
Paramount.
just
How many Friday the 13th movies did we get?
Oh, but yes, I agree.
well,
So
there's,
they
well,
they
there's
took.
only
Sorry, go ahead, Andy.
well, I'm just saying you can only catch lightning in a bottle like Friday the 13th, so many times. I mean, even when you dilute that concept, I mean, it kind of plays itself out, But I just think this one just needs to be left alone. It's just my opinion.
Like from what I read and was very little, and so someone, not Brian Clark, because he probably doesn't care about this movie. Someone, probably the movie defenders, they might correct me, but I believe the guy that just sort of got booted from running the DC universe in favor of James Gunn, who's taken it over. I think they hired him as like the head of the new Paramount horror branch that they've created because of this film's success. I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. To me, that's not exciting. Seeing how he handled the DC universe, I'm like, oh god, we're gonna get Justice League of bad horror. I don't know. But I just it hurts me that it's like, can't we just fucking enjoy a underdog story of an unexpected horror movie that came out and did great numbers. Now in the capitalist world we live in, we're like, well, now we just have to create a whole separate branch and we're just going to invest all of our money into this, so it's a money making machine, and we're going to pump these movies out, and it's like printing money, and it's like, just accept that you had lightning in a bottle and you made one movie that people loved, and I'm not saying that's just business, that's how it is, but it's just, why, god damn it, like don't ruin a good thing. It's like when someone realizes they're in on the joke, it's like, and they jump on it, it just ruins it. Like, just what's cool about it is that it wasn't expected, and now you're going to be expecting it and you're going to be pumping money in these things, and it's not going to be the same. But
it almost gets to the point where
prove me wrong.
It almost gets to the point where I think like these when they do that, it's like Multiplicity with Michael Keaton. Once you keep cloning him, it gets more and more fucking stupid.
Right? Yeah, and I'm just they see the dollar signs, which is fine, but goddamn, man, like I'm already complaining about something that doesn't exist, and they're throwing money into horror, and I shouldn't bitch about it, but it's like, just the idea that they created an entire branch because one movie, let's hire this guy and he's going to make this whole thing. And if it was like, we're going to go out and look for young aspiring horror filmmakers, that would be exciting, but it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like when they saw how Marvel was handling, Marvel's doing great. It's like when everyone tried to create a universe, they were going to have the Monsters dark universe, and Tom Cruise killed that. And when it's just, not everything has to be a fucking shared universe. Just let it be a thing.
Yeah. Track record says, you're probably dead on there, Ted.
We'll see. I hope they prove me wrong, and I love all the shit that they come out with. But I mean, look at what they did with Paranormal Activity. They drove that shit in the ground after one low budget successful movie. I don't know. I'll stop complaining and let you guys talk.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well,
don't say it's 0 for 3 here.
I'm glad to know that to hear Tad's review of this, because I felt like maybe I'm in a dark place or something right now this week, because it's 0 for 3. I didn't like this one either. Nope. I thought it started strong. There were some cool moments. I love some really neat imagery. Like my favorite shot is like after that first girl starts to cut her face off from like the jaw to up underneath the chin, and then it cuts later to her dead under the sheet, and the blood is now
Creates
made
a smile.
smiley face or a smile. And I thought that was freaking brilliant. But yeah, you need more than just some cool imagery, I guess. So when I watched The Ring, I mean Smile. Jesus. I don't know. I just didn't. It didn't feel like it gave me anything new.
Thank you.
It just felt like it was a rehash of the same things I've seen over and over again that were all done better. Because at least with The Ring or Drag Me to Hell or It Follows, the rules are better established. That was one of the things that bothered me. Like, okay, why is this, whatever this is, this demon, this whatever, this entity is attacking her now at this point, but not at this point? Why, and is it 4 days or is it a week? I was confused on that.
I just think it's the trauma of anybody's trauma manifesting itself, and just until the trauma breaks you. I don't think that there's. I think it was just kind of like somewhat of a guideline. It's just everybody's different. Everybody breaks from trauma in a different way. Maybe, at least that was my interpretation of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I can see that. Those moments you guys talked about, were pretty cool. Pretty creepy stuff with the doctor, but then it wasn't the doctor. She starts smiling and then coming towards her. That stuff was cool. It just, just some of those moments just felt inconsistent and didn't understand. Like how powerful is this thing? Is this entity? Like, it can disguise itself as a person, or it can completely alter her entire reality. Like, in the end, we think she gets away, and then she's right back there at that house. And I was unimpressed with the reveal of the entity there at the end. It's either let's not see it at all, or at least come up with something way cooler than what we did get. So yeah, I don't know. It just did not enjoy this one. Sorry.
Dang.
Kevin Bacon's daughter was pretty cool though. She was good.
That was the lead actress.
Yeah, that was Kevin Bacon's daughter.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Sadly, looks too much like her dad.
I didn't even notice. Gosh.
Well, they did the saying where they made her like high ponytail, made up at the very beginning, so that they could slowly like take her makeup on and make her have bags under her eyes and slow descent into.
I did notice like quite a physical change in her appearance throughout the film, which did feel subtle, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I loved the shit out of this movie. I was really scared to watch it because I thought it.
Hate smiling.
Yeah, you know me.
Thanks for backing me up. I finally have some.
Oh well, like so I think that It Follows is like one of the scariest fucking movies ever made.
Hell yeah,
me too.
And like just the trailer, just anything that's anything like it scared the fuck out of me. So if this movie was gonna even have anything like to do with It Follows, I was like, fuck no. And I wasn't gonna watch this movie until you put it on the fucking list. And I'm like, shit, I have to be scared now? This is too scary. And Jesus Christ, I 100% the greatest part of this movie for me is the cinematography. It was incredible. Every scene had just some of the best camera work ever. The coloring, the shots were just awesome. I mean, from beginning to end. Yes, the score was amazing, but weird. But I liked it because it was weird.
It was a good score. There was moments that was really reminiscent to American Horror Story music, which I love because it's very unconventional
Yep.
and extremely creepy.
And I kind of put this in a ghosty thing, or demon. I don't know. That's not my favorite kind of genre at all. I don't really care about these kind of things.
Kind of why I'm surprised you.
I know, right? But like, from the get go, I'm just like, this girl's great. She's and just everything this thing that happens to her is just the most awful thing ever.
Which, honestly, is another reason why I'm surprised you like it. She does not get a break in this movie.
No, she can't. But, like, I felt for her, and, like, she's trying and she's fighting. And, gosh dang, it just was fucking scary. And I liked that the rules were vague. I didn't need any rules. They're just like, there's this thing and it's fucked. Like, you're fucked.
I don't know. It just felt like Green Lantern to me. Like, because we don't know what this is. There are no rules per se. We can just literally do whatever we want, and not have any reasoning for it.
Well,
that's when it just kind of I tune out.
But there's no one in this movie to give you the rules. There is no. It's because of this.
Rewrite.
Because of what it is. Like you either die from it, or you die from it, and like
we keep talking about It Follows, and I think what makes It Follows so scary and so effective and such a great movie is that constant feeling of just constant tension throughout the whole movie, no matter what scene it is, because we know what's coming, and we know what's coming because this is what's been established. We know that whatever this weirdo thing is literally walking to her to kill her.
Right.
And
sure.
whatever image it takes. And then I just get none of that.
The rule that we do know with this movie is that if they fucking smile, you're fucked. So, like, that's terrifying because there's so many shots of the other people and they're not smiling, but they hold on their face. And when that does happen, we know that one rule of, like, oh, they're smiling, you're gone. Like, when that happens, it's the scariest fucking thing because there's no getting out of it. I don't know.
I don't know. It just didn't. I felt no ticking clock like the old Alfred Hitchcock rule of suspense. It didn't really feel like there was any ticking clock with this. I don't know.
Maybe this isn't the right time to bring it up or talk about it, but I just don't. I don't understand. I don't know about the like why does giving you something new have to hold so much weight? Why is that so important to everyone and watches movies now? Like, that's all I hear.
Well, to me,
when people don't like a thing is they didn't get something new. Well, guess what? Your favorite movie, it borrows 1,000 things from another. Like, why is that so important to everybody now?
Well, to me, it's important because, as Mike said earlier, this is pieces of things all put together, of all things that have done it better. So, in comparison,
well, you're comparing. Why are you comparing it to other things?
Because it pulled from other things.
So does every movie that's ever been made. Do you do that with every movie?
I do. If it reminds me and does something not as well as another one, then yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand.
Like, I love It Follows. What else did it remind me of before it?
Is that rhetorical? I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It brought something new to me, and this pulled from that and The Ring. But I like both of those much better than this. So that's why I'm saying, like, it takes the concept and doesn't.
Movies that bring you the same thing that you know you're going to get. Like, I don't
like slashers.
Yeah. Why is it a reason?
The sister head twist thing was kind of cool. I did like that.
Jesus fuck, that scared the holy hell out of me. I even saw it in the trailer.
Yeah, I know. I was bummed that they put it in the trailer.
But
it took it away for the movie.
I forgot all about it.
That would have been a hell of a lot more effective.
It was a really cool effect. And
there's some like giant, do I remember correctly, some giant weird creature towards the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, which I think isn't it like the mom and then just like morphs into this giant creature thing?
Oversized thing.
Yeah. I just think it's like it's each person's trauma from their past manifesting themselves, and if you can't move past your trauma, it's gonna
Come
kill
and eat
you.
Yeah.
or just destroy you some way.
But anyway, I really liked the movie. It scared the fucking shit out of me, and I don't really like the ending. But I know I've been trying to tell myself since I watched it that just had to be the ending. It had to be. So it's like I knew there wasn't a better ending.
The ending, the unhappy ending.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, I hated the ending for that. But yeah.
God, I had something else I wanted to say. On a positive.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I don't mean to. I don't want to die on the hill of smile or anything. I just.
Yeah.
Too late. I'm never talking to you again.
God damn it!
The freak was it? Oh yeah, that's right. The whole time, and we are, and I don't know, might be getting a little spoilery if we haven't already. The whole time I'm thinking, just stay away from everybody. Just in 4 days, just go away. Just be secluded. And she did it.
And
so
she
I
did
was
that,
like,
yeah.
oh great.
Shit.
I was like, oh, that's cool. And then it didn't end up working out, which I appreciated it. But again, it was like,
because in a lot of movies the main character doesn't do the obvious thing that we all think they need to do, and she actually did it in this one.
and then it still didn't work, which was cool. I didn't care for the fact and how they executed it, how it didn't work. Because again, it's just like the evil presence's powers are just kind of all over the place for me. But yeah, I did have that moment of like, whoa, she was still there, So yeah. Okay, so there we go. What trivia do you have for Smile, Ted?
The film was originally titled Something's Wrong with Rose before being renamed Smile, which I think is a very smart choice to change it just to Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Mike
gonna
loves
concur that.
word movies titles.
Paramount originally planned for the film, which had a low budget of $17 million, to be a streaming-only release on Paramount Plus. But the film was screened for test audiences and scored much higher than anticipated, prompting Paramount to give the film a theatrical release in the U.S. It has grossed over $22 million in its opening weekend, which Paramount's distribution chief Chris Aronson said exceeded our wildest expectations. So it is a success story. And then to promote the film ahead of release, producers with Paramount began placing paid actors in different public settings, sporting the
Yeah, I
movie's
loved
signature
that.
unsettling grin. Several actors began randomly appearing behind home plates at different Major League Baseball games, and even during a broadcast of ABC's Good Morning America, which quickly began circulating on social media. So genius marketing,
Absolutely.
free viral. I mean, not really free. You had to buy baseball tickets, but really smart, genius advertising, promoting. Really well done on their part for a movie that was originally just going to be thrown on Paramount Plus, and now it has a whole branch of films going. One reviewer from MovieFreak.com says it is called Smile Trauma Porn. I thought that was interesting. And someone else called it Jump Scare the Movie.
Oh, there's way worse ones than that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't feel like that. It had a lot of for a movie I didn't love. It had a lot of tension to it.
Yeah, it was more about, when is that smile gonna come across her face, someone's face, and then it's slowly like, I still can't get over the damn psychiatrist when she did that. I'm just like,
she doesn't look like a lady who can walk over a couch like that. It was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Shit, she didn't even flinch. She didn't look where the fuck she was walking, man. She was just like, bam. She made a beeline for her.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for the trivia, Tad. And
You're
that
welcome.
is a wrap on the films for this episode. Yeah. Teeth, right?
Ugh.
Okay, so we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, normally it'd be segments, but we're going to be cutting it a little short tonight. But first, you're going to hear a promo for our podcast network, the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to like around 30 different podcasts. Great.
30,000 podcasts.
Yes.
It's so great.
You should check them all out at thepfpn.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back. And so this is the segments portion, but it is a little short. Unfortunately, we don't have Insane's picks or recasting tonight, but we cannot do an episode without hearing from you guys. So here's Jason with shout outs.
It's time for shout outs. Shout outs. Shout outs. Shout outs. Shout outs.
All right, we asked, what are your favorite horror movies with a teeth theme? And on our Facebook page, we got attacker Casey Kelderman says, teeth, duh. The Dentist is also a really fun Brian Usna film that sort of makes me terrified to go to the dentist. That's true. Fuck dentists. Then over on our Facebook group edition, find us. Everybody needs to get in there, by the way. We got attacker Bill Fisher. He says, literally the movie Teeth. It was the first movie I watched with my ex, and if that's not the biggest red flag ever, I don't know what is. Yeah, then we got Tim Lennerer. He says, both versions of Little Shop of Horrors have a sadistic dentist and a masochistic patient.
Hell yeah.
But only the 1980s take on the material turns it into a... Oh, man. But only the 80s take on the fuck off. The material turns it into a show-stopping musical number with evil Steve Martin singing about hurting everyone unlucky enough to wind up in his chair. That's such a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We got Nick Leadham with Killer Condom.
Oh, yeah. There's some more penis
Is that a
jumping.
companion piece to Teeth?
You would think.
All right. And
they should do like Freddy versus Jason, but it's Teeth.
Vagina dentata.
Yeah, Vagina dentata.
And then we got Mitchell Houston. He says, the only tooth-themed horror movie I can think of is The Tooth Fairy. I watched it 5 times and enjoyed the twist they took on the Tooth Fairy wives' tale. Then over on, nothing on Twitter, but over on Instagram, guess what, guys? It's Mike Reeb, the Reebster.
Hey.
At oldschoolvideo.inc says, it may be a stretch, but the dentist scenes in Little Shop of Horrors and Christopher Lee was all about those fangs in his Dracula movies. Very good. Very good one. Oh, what? Mike.
What?
Is that red light beeping on that machine over there?
Oh, it is. You sure it's not broken?
It could be. Do you see what?
All right.
Push the button.
Hey, everybody. Attacker Brian here for my bi-weekly phone call. And it sounds like the guys are talking about tooth horror on this episode. And I know most people are going to go to Teeth, which is fine. It's a fun movie. But I actually just got done watching a short that's called Milk Teeth. That's about an orphanage with a bunch of little kids ripping their teeth out to get money from this crazy tooth fairy. And then it looks like there's another movie that's possibly coming out or is out right now. I just watched a trailer for called Tooth Fairy, Drill to Kill. Looks right up my alley. Probably shot on an iPhone or something like that. Put out on Dollar Tree Blu-ray later next year, so I'll be sure to pick that up. And I know a lot of you guys don't like teeth, so this should be a really fun episode. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. That's coming up soon. Enjoy your food. Take care. Bye-bye.
I was right. The machine was broken.
Yep. Oh,
I'm just kidding.
It just means the restraining order hasn't gone through yet. So that's. But yeah, thanks, Godzilla.
Thanks, Godzilla.
And any of you people out there can leave your voicemail and we'll play it on the show. You give us a call at 415-952-6857. That's 415-95-AOTKP. Leave us that voicemail. We'll get your voice on the show, and that is shout-outs.
All right. And that is the end of our episode. I hope you learned a thing or two about teeth.
Yes, brush, floss, do all that stuff.
Yes.
Stay out of the chair.
Yes, if your dentist looks like Corbin Burnson, run. All right, well, thanks, everybody, for listening. A special thanks and shout-out to the Attackers for supporting the show. Appreciate it so much. We love you guys. And until next time, we'll talk to you on the next episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast. See you later.
Oh no, could this be the end of? Attack of the Killer Podcast.